6 weeks ago, people were asking if Kansas City could actually pull this off. As of today, we've hosted our 5th World Cup match. We're the #1 local TV market in the entire country for World Cup viewership. We set a streetcar ridership record. Lionel Messi scored his first World Cup hat trick right here in our city. And this past Friday night, we watched Colombia punch their ticket to the round of 16 on our own turf. Hi, I'm Payne, Kansas City real estate agent and local enthusiast. I love sharing what makes this city so special. So, how's Kansas City actually doing as a host? Let's talk about what went right, what went sideways, and what it means for this region long after the last ball is kicked. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The first match had problems. When Argentina played Algeria on opening night, traffic backed up so badly that fans got out of their cars and walked over a mile to Arrowhead just to make kickoff. That's not a great first impression when the whole world is watching. And it wasn't just traffic. Ticket prices hit a lot of local fans hard. Cheap seats were starting around $380, which priced out plenty of die-hard KC soccer fans who've been supporting Sporting KC in the Current for years, but couldn't justify the price tag for one match. FIFA's ticketing system also frustrated buyers. People were bidding on price tiers without knowing exactly where they'd be sitting, and some didn't get their actual seat assignments until weeks before the tournament. Add in Midwest summer heat, and you had a real "can KC handle this" moment early on. Here's the part I actually think that matters more for this video: what happened next. After the opening night traffic mess, officials went to work fixing the flow for the next match, and it showed. By the time the tournament reached the 2/3 mark, KC 2026 organizers were sharing numbers that told a completely different story. The KC streetcar carried nearly 500,000 riders in June alone, and this is a system that only started running World Cup service partway through the month. On June 27th, the streetcar set a one-day ridership record, 48,260 people. That's happened 3 separate times in June. Kansas City International Airport had its second busiest day ever on June 23rd, with 23,500 people screened through security in a single day, which, by the way, is exactly why that new single terminal airport mattered. And for fans who couldn't swing $380 tickets, the city leaned hard into free alternatives. The FIFA Fan Festival at the National World War I Museum drew over 201,000 attendees through the group stage alone. Sporting KC ran free watch parties at their stadium. The KC Current opened up their Berkeley Riverfront Plaza for broadcasts. Nobody had to spend a fortune to be part of the excitement. That momentum carried right into this past Friday, July 3rd, when Kansas City hosted its 5th match of this tournament, Colombia versus Ghana, in the round of 32. The fan festival was packed all day with watch parties before the 8:30 p.m. kickoff, and the stadium crowd was estimated at roughly 80% Colombian fans. John Arias scored the only goal of the match in the 14th minute, and Colombia held on for a 1-0 win, sending them to the round of 16 to face Switzerland in Vancouver. No traffic disaster this time, just a clean, well-run match day, which says a lot about how far the city's logistics have come since that rough opening night. This is the part that gets me, honestly. KC 2026 CEO Pam Kramer put it this way: what's defined these weeks isn't just the scale of the event, it's the way this region welcomed people in with a genuine heart. And when you look at what's actually happened on the ground, that tracks. When Netherlands fans held their orange fan walk downtown in orange gear, Kansas City didn't just tolerate it. Locals came out of their office buildings to join in. A bank branch manager at 19th and Grand had his employees pass out bottled water to fans marching by, just because. One longtime KC local said watching it all, he couldn't miss it. It felt like one of the city's most joyful moments. 13% of attendees so far have been international visitors, representing 178 countries. Ecuador, Colombia, Mexico, and Argentina have sent the most fans. And Kansas City's been the base camp for England, Algeria, and Argentina, meaning those teams and their fans have been living in our neighborhoods, not just visiting for a night. The response hasn't been this city is overwhelmed. It's been this city showed up. So here's the question I get asked as someone who's spent years telling people why this region is worth moving to. Does any of this actually matter once the World Cup leaves town? I think it does, for a few reasons. First, the infrastructure isn't going anywhere. The expanded streetcar line, the new single terminal airport, the transit partnerships between the city and regional providers, none of that gets torn down on July 20th. Families relocating here for military moves, for jobs, for whatever reason, are going to benefit from a transportation system that just got a multi-year jump ahead of schedule. Second, the exposure is real. Kansas City is the #1 local TV market in the country for World Cup viewing right now. That's not a small thing. Millions of people who've never thought about Kansas City are watching this region host a hat trick from one of the greatest players ever, watching neighborhoods embrace fans from a dozen countries, watching a Midwest city prove it can handle a stage this big. Third, and this is the part I care about most professionally, this is a credibility moment for the region. When people are deciding where to live, where to buy home, where to raise a family, I saw that city on TV and it looked alive. Matters more than people admit. A host city that handles adversity well and treats visitors well builds a reputation. And reputations bring people. Kansas City still has one match left to host, the quarterfinal on July 11th. There's still time for more challenges, but 5 matches in, this city has done what it's always done for the people who live here, shown up, adjusted, and made people feel welcome. If you're watching this and thinking about what it would actually be like to live in a region that just proved it can host the world's biggest sporting event, I talk to people about exactly that every day, especially military families relocating to Fort Leavenworth and the KC Metro. Drop a comment if you caught any of the matches or the Fan Fest in person. And if you're PCSing to this area and want to know what it's really like beyond the World Cup headlines, that's what the rest of this channel is for. Subscribe for more on the Kansas City area. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.